Ooh. On Tuesday, I was lucky enough to be invited to go and see Aladdin on the West End. Disney had worked with the National Autistic Society to create a relaxed performance, and yeah, wow, I certainly have a lot to say. The actual show itself, I don't think I need to review much because you know I'm a Disney fan, you know exactly what I'm going to say. Mind-blowing, indescribable feelings, you could say. Oh god. Aladdin is my third favourite Disney film. Lego Aladdin and Genie's here. I think they need to accompany me for this. Today I want to focus more on the autistic adaptation side of things. So a little background about me in the theatre. I hadn't been to the theatre prior to the 3rd of July. I went to go and see the adapted version of Curious Incident. The theatre was a very daunting prospect for me, the fact that it was so loud, so busy, flashy, meh. And of course you just don't know what's coming. The reason they put on these relaxed performances is that those who are less able to cope with the theatre get the opportunity to experience it. And yes, obviously you don't experience it in its full theatre-ness, but you get a really good taste of what it's actually like to watch a show and enjoy it. We were in the Prince Edward Theatre, which is just around the corner from the Palace Theatre where Harry Potter and the Cursed Child was, so obviously I had to walk past there and have a look at that. But going into the venue, there was definitely a relaxed vibe. Lots of NAS people about, volunteers from NAS, volunteers from Disney, and of course the actual front of house staff. Everyone had been trained up in autism. I actually know someone who works at that theatre, so I asked her fully, like, what have you been trained up on? She was given a very good understanding of autism, which is good anyway, because that's what we want in the world. They were given very specific training, like people might not respond in the way you expect them to respond to things. And also simple things about when being asked a question. If they're asked to repeat a question, they have to repeat it exactly the same as they said it before, which is something that helped. And the staff did an absolutely brilliant job of making sure everyone was comfortable. We went and got in our seats, and here's a little view from our seats of the theatre. It wasn't actually full at this point, but it did fill up quite quickly, and there's my sister looking like an absolute weirdo. Thank you, Lauren. The actual audience itself, I would say it was a lot younger than Curious Incident, and one thing I learned from the Curious Incident is that there tends to be a lot of background noise in these performances because not everyone's able to stay quiet and calm throughout the whole thing. So I thought, okay, I'll ask for Bluetooth headphones. They said they're available on the website, but they couldn't find any. So that's one thing I was a bit confused about. What they did, they fetched some child ear dimmer things. I didn't quite know what to do with that because I was like, but the Bluetooth headphones connect to what they're saying so I can hear them and it blocks out. So I just thought, right, okay, it's fine, I'll just do without. Just before the actual performance started, 3 cast members came on stage, Iago, Jafar and Trevor. Well, not Trevor, the genie. Trevor's the actor's name. They introduced themselves as themselves and said, I will be playing Jafar. And they just explained, this is a relaxed performance, we're very excited to do it, etc, etc. The first character you're going to meet is me, the genie. They did a very good job doing that. That's one thing that we didn't have at the Curious Incident, it just started. Now the opening number is the same opening number from the film. It's the song Arabian Nights, and in the film, if you've seen the film, it's nothing particularly special. In the musical, however, it's 4.5 minutes longer to start with. It actually brought me to tears. As soon as the music started, I was goosebumps everywhere, and I just cried. I'm just like, oh, the Disney magic, and 20 minutes in, something unusual happened. Obviously, this is what I'm going to title the video as, because, yeah. There was a siren that went off. Not a siren as in, because that would have just angered everyone, but it was a I just assumed it was part of the performance. Then an announcement came up. An unexpected incident has arisen. Please evacuate the theatre. Oh, so this is an audience full of autistic people who aren't very good with the unexpected. You can imagine what happened. It was like meltdown left, right and centre. It was obviously quite a distressing time. I was very happy with myself. I managed to really keep my cool. Me and my sister just grabbed onto each other and just walked out. On the way through the lobby, I saw someone I knew from NAS and was just like, do you have any idea what's going on? And she said, no, but just get out. And we all went out in front of the theatre. And I set a video here actually because I took a panning shot. You've got 2,000 people. Most of them are freaking out. One thing I cannot commend enough though is how well the staff dealt with it and the volunteers. They did an excellent job of going around everyone who was in the crowd going, right, okay, we think it's a false alarm, we're just checking it out, it won't be long. They did a very good job of calming everyone because of course, well, like me, I was asking every question under the sun. I was just like, but when, why, who? They did a very, very good job of keeping everyone calm. In fact, because of course we were all out in the public, a drunk man tried to get through the crowd and he started running through like rowdily. Security people just came from nowhere and went on him like, this is not the crowd you're doing this in. Like, ooh, properly like trained up. And then as soon as it was ready to go back in, me and my sister made the very, good choice of walking to the front and then just running to our seats, because otherwise there would have been a crush of people going in and it just wouldn't have been worth it. We were the first back in the theatre and we were like, theatre to ourselves. Took about 20 minutes to get everyone back in. Me and Lauren joked actually, like, we should have got up on stage and entertained the crowd to a Disney medley. We really should have done. Oh, it was the audience's loss. And then once everything had calmed down again, the genie came back on stage, well Trevor did, just to explain what had happened and that the fact we're just going to resume as normal. The performance continued, got to Friend Like Me. Wow, that is like the best 7.5 minutes of entertainment I've ever seen in my life. I was crying again. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but there's a bit where it slows down and the genie wants to add a few songs into Friend Like Me. And let's just say all those songs had me and my sister going we just couldn't cope, okay? I was just crying like you can't believe it was getting right in there. It was too much for my little heart to handle. Don't listen to Friend Like Me on the soundtrack if you want to keep that a surprise for if you go and see it. One thing in Friend Like Me which I didn't think they'd do, I'd heard there were fireworks in Friend Like Me, I'd been warned about it to go, they'll probably turn them off because it's a relaxed performance, but be aware there might be fireworks. Because of course fireworks are very bright and very loud. And bear in mind this was in the Cave of Wonders, and the Cave of Wonders had gold walls, so you had a firework, the reflection. So that was a little bit of a struggle, that was a bit like ugh. But it was only for a few seconds and it was manageable, and because the energy was so high, it was I was kind of hyper that I was alright to deal with. We had the interval, we had the second act, and it was all smooth for the second act, brilliant. One bit I struggled with, A Whole New World, as you can imagine, they ride a magic carpet, which was, do you know what, it's like sorcery. That's what it was like. It was brilliant. I think I figured out how it worked though, because of course I have to figure it out. But what happens is there's stars everywhere, but these stars were glistening, and that was too much for me because they were everywhere. I got to about halfway through the song and I had to just like squint and look away occasionally, and just, oh, it was too bright and too flickery for me. So if they do another relaxed performance, I hope they hear that feedback and can tone that down a bit. So that was all the performance. The performance, incredible. My biggest problem during the event was the audience. And I sound horrible when I say that, but wait until you listen to what I'm saying. It was not the people on the autistic spectrum. It was the neurotypical parents. First example, as we were sitting there waiting for the show to start, the parents of 2 kids behind me, they were like, right, okay, when Jafar comes on stage, you need to boo. Lauren's just been telling me the entire way, I'm not allowed to make any noise, I'm not allowed to sing along. You don't make any noise unless you're asked to, because that's what happens in a theatre, that's theatre etiquette. These parents were telling the kids to boo every time Jafar came on stage. I'm like, but that's what you do in a pantomime, that's not here. So I was thinking, oh, it's fine. They'll just boo for the first time and they'll be alone, and then they'll realise, oh, right, okay, we probably shouldn't have done that. But it turned out a lot of people in the audience had that idea. So it would have been quite nice that at the beginning when Jafar, Genie and Iago came on stage, if they could have just introduced a bit about theatre etiquette. I know some people are really young, but I had no idea what theatre etiquette was. I only knew because my sister was telling me. So it would have been a bit nice to go, right, you try and keep as quiet as you can, you only interact at these points. But there's one bit in the show where you interact, it's at the beginning of Friend Like Me. You just have to shout bibbity bobbity boo, which who's going to object to that? The other issue I had during the interval, some woman in front wanted to take pictures of her kids. She had the flash on. She took several. It was, oh, I had to go to the loo afterwards, like to just go. It would have been really nice if they could have appreciated the fact people in the audience won't like flashing lights, because that's why they've come to an adapted performance. But yes, overall, the entire experience, magical. I think that's the only word I can really describe it as, magical. It was like being in a whole new world. Every turn was a surprise, every moment was red letter, whatever that means. But in terms of going forward in the future, I think, do you know what? I think I might be alright going to actual shows now. I think I need to do it on a per show basis. I would not have been able to see the non-adapted version of Curious Incident because that's apparently sensory overload all the way through, because that's what it's meant to replicate. But I think something like Aladdin, if I'm just warned beforehand, the Cave of Wonders going to be a bit in your face, stars are going to be twinkly, I'd be alright. So I think going forward, I'm going to try and go to a normal show. I really want to see Aladdin again, so I think it'd be good, now I know the show, to go and see it normally. Of course, I'll still attend relaxed performances, and I think anyone who's never been to the theatre, please do go. I can't advertise them enough, like genuinely. It allows you to experience something that you wouldn't experience otherwise. I can't thank enough NAS, Disney, everyone delivered such an incredible experience all round. And the fact that everyone managed to do it calmly with an evacuation, wow. You'd be surprised how many people returned into the theatre, because you'd expect that to freak everyone out, but no. They did a very good job on keeping everyone calm, and I'd say probably like 90% of the people came back into the theatre. One other thing I've got to compliment them on, Aladdin are very involved on social media in terms of liking tweets, etc., replying, saying hope you had a good time. All the cast members just as equally involved, like I tweeted and Aladdin and the genie likes it, like whew. In fact, I'm going to tag everyone who I can on Twitter in this video. If you were any part of that production, whether it's NAS, Disney, Aladdin, just thank you so much for providing that experience. It was incredible. And if anyone from Disney is watching this, please hurry up with Hercules the musical. Like, I need it in my life. I just need it, and I need Shooting Star to be in it. And yeah, I could do a whole video on that, so let's not even go there. I'm going to leave the link to the NAS Relaxed Performance page. There's nothing on it at the moment, but I'm sure after the success of this one, there'll be more being announced soon. They're not just in London, they're all around the UK. In fact, I've heard that other countries do relaxed performances too, because I know obviously not everyone's from England. Thank you very much for watching. Knox.